to many places. Mabea, Malaysia. I've traveled far and wide. Colombo, Melbourne. No place like my Lagos. My Lagos is come feel the spirit of my echo. Babajide is my echo. Let's go.
Hello and thanks for joining us on Themes Update for today. My name is Shola Kusoko. The all-inclusive governance model by Mr. Governor is one that is targeted at creating a platform for everyone to be heard. Now, under the administration's education and technology thrust of this Themes agenda, mechanisms are being put in place towards reducing the deficit between literate and unschooled through the Ekonkeko Lagos's Learning Project. The program under the Office of the Special Advisor to the Governor on Education through the Agency for Mass Education has increased literacy level in Lagos State to 87%. Themes Update, Progress Report on the Themes Agenda. Established by the Edict No. 2 on the 31st of January 1991, the Lagos State Agency for Mass Education was established to increase awareness on the importance of literacy by eradicating illiteracy in the state, especially among the rural dwellers, out-of-school children, among others.
Our mandate really is to be in charge of non-formal education in the state. And for non-formal education, we have three different areas in which we capture our mandates. One, we have the mass literacy, where we teach people how to read and write. We also teach them life skills. And then we have the vocational training centers, where we also teach unskilled people various skills. And of course, the third one is to be in charge of continuing education centers, which some people call tutorial centers in the state. Now, the first two I mentioned, that's the mass literacy and the vocational training. That is those two are fully sponsored by the state government, and they are run free of charge. Meanwhile, the last one, continuing education center, what we do is to give private operators approval to operate the continuing education centers in Lagos State.
Under the Ekonkeko Lagos's Learning, a free tuition initiative developed to educate the unschooled adult, over 7 million have been adopted into the scheme.
For the basic literacy class, we have 9 months, meaning that you have to be in class for 9 months. But those 9 months, they are not 8 to 2 because of the flexibility of non-formal education. It just simply means that in a month, you must have 24-hour contact with the learners. We don't call the learners students. Don't forget they are adults. So we call them adult learners. So we have to have a 24-hour contact with them. And those 24-hour contacts are divided like this. In a week, have 6 hours contact. And by the time you want on an average, you have 4 weeks in a month. So 4 times 6 will give you 24 hours. And then in a week as well, you'll have a one-on-one contact with them, either 2 days, 3 days in a week. It all depends on the agreements between the facilitators. The facilitators are the teachers who teach these adult learners. So it all depends on the agreements between the facilitators and the adult learners.
The center is about teaching adults who have not been to school, who cannot read and write. We want them to know how to read, how to write, and how to reason properly. Because when they know now, at least it's one of the programs that eradicates illiteracy from society, giving all these adults another chance of livelihood. When they can read their rights, they apply it to their business life, they apply it in their family, they apply it even to their own personal life. It helps them a lot.
One of them shared with us that the son sent money to her, and because she took somebody to the bank to help her to sign and collect the money, the man took some of the money out because she didn't know how much it was. So I now encourage all of them to join us so that they will be able to write their names, read texts from their children.
4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
With being taught subjects like mathematics, English, Yoruba language, and general knowledge, students have been able to extinguish the pains of being exploited while also providing for themselves personally for upliftment.
In fact, I have had wonderful experience with my learners. I discovered one thing. Before, I used to think that if you can speak little English, then it means you can read and write what you are speaking. But from my experience so far with my learners, I discovered that to speak is a different thing, to read is a different thing, to write is a different thing. But I thank God that God has been helping us so far, that those that couldn't read and write what they speak, at least they can put down one or two things, and whatever they write, to an extent, they can read.
Teaching adults, problem adults, because I'm coping. Because they are put joy in my heart. Whenever I ask question, they will ask, maybe they're true or wrong, I will correct them. So all of us, we happy, because our class is very, very funny class, especially that Lero. So I thank God for it.
It's going to help them because, like I said, most of them don't know how to write their names. And we've actually had situation whereby most of them are actually market traders, so they don't know how to even go to bank to save their money. So because they don't know how to write down their names. So now they can actually go to the bank to put down their names to save their money. They know the difference between banking sectors and using just ordinary colo. There's this pocket bank at home, so they could differentiate the two. They know that they always have interest when they go to bank. So now they know those things that are meant to know in the society, and they can actually engage themselves among their peer group. So, for instance, now if you should tell them, okay, they have idea of when you speak, they have idea of what you're actually saying. They might not be able to express themselves very well, but they have the idea of like this is what this person is actually talking about.
A later student whose life have been brightened up by the free programs commended the government while sharing their experiences with their children and grandchildren.
It's good because I do mistake when I dey young. I not go school. I supposed to. I never know that I will marry to come to the city. It's village life. When you dey village, you never know anything. My senior brother was warning me that you don't go school, you don't want to go school. When you marry somebody who stay at the city, it will put you to shame. And exactly what I see today. Now, I come learn because even this government try. Because if your Sanwo-Olu not there, the governor not there to tell us to make old people go school, I for no go.
The reason why I come to the adult education is that I cannot write, I cannot read. But when I got here, I know I can write very well, I can read very well.
I have 4 children. Why I'm here is that I appreciate education very well, but I didn't have opportunity to further more. But when Mama called me that we want to start Ekwagba, whatever, I said, that will be better. What I've lost, maybe I will be able to. She's trying. I thank God for her.
Because I don't know how to write, how to read. But I thank God for this church that make me and Mrs. Oganga, that make me know how to write and how to read now. or even say when I start this school, some people have been laughing at me. But I thank God today I can read newspaper with my head, and I don't have accounts this thing before, but I'm thank God for this school. Now I can go to bank and write and sign for myself now.
In a bid to achieve more, the agency intends to intensify her efforts in having relevant key stakeholders keen into the mass literacy programs. Themes update. Progress report on the themes agenda. Now, listening to Madam Agnes Florence's testimony of her experience at the Learning Center is a testament of the good intention of Mr. Governor towards eradicating illiteracy in the state. With centers spread across the state, Lagosians should take advantage of the investment of Mr. Governor in achieving the Lagos of our dreams. And that's it on Themes Update for today. Thank you for being part of the program. Have a beautiful day ahead.
Been to many places, Mabea, Malaysia. I've traveled far and wide, Colombo, Melbourne. No place like my